Brighton Theatre of the Air presents Reincarnation.
We are walking the corridors of a hospital somewhere in Sussex. At the end of the east wing, we arrive at a very secure office door. It has an imposing brass plaque. Population Refinement. Let's go in. Not really, for the door is locked by an 8-digit combination. But still, we can go in using the magic lens of the playwright. A man in a suit sits at a table. Upon the table is a pile of folders. On the other side of the table, facing the man, is a giant screen. Below the screen is a panel of touch squares and multicoloured lights. The man has brought his own sandwiches in the universal plastic container. He's nibbling at one now. Egg mayonnaise with watercress. We can almost taste it. To the left is a sophisticated coffee machine boasting 18 different flavours. And lastly, to his right, in the corner, a second chair. I thought I was dead, but then I couldn't think if I was dead. I have no substance. Where the hell am I?
Let me check, Derek. Yes. According to the file, you are presently on a mantelpiece in an urn at your son's home in Tavistock. What a coincidence. That's where I came from.
Then how can I think? And how can I speak?
The file says you were nanochipped along with your vaccination in 2021, 13 years ago. I have a computer modelling of your appearance, character, and soul on screen now.
How did I die?
A misfortune. Something of a hypochondriac. You were always getting checked out at surgeries. You were wrongly diagnosed, and then medicine killed you. It's quite common, though of course, it goes under the radar.
Why all the interest in a dead man? And who are you, anyway? Are you, God?
No, I'm not God. I'm Vincent Slade. I'm an administrator for population refinement. Today's dead are tomorrow's living. This is, essentially, the reincarnation department. We have offices dotted about in hospitals all over the populated world.
You mean that I can reincarnate? Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Vincent. Brilliant. Fantastic. I've always believed in it, Karma and all that. I've read some Buddhist texts. Oh, yes. I've done my fair share of meditating and chanting to put the bushfires out in Australia and to win the lottery for charity. Oh, this is great. Really great.
Yes, well, Derek, I have your story here, and I'm afraid it's not so really great. For a start, you've had 5 kids, 4 of them female. 5 is 80% more than today's average. Not good.
I'm sorry, Vincent. Overpopulation was no big thing in the 90s. Just a professional discussion that passed me by. Meanwhile, I was always being complimented on me fertility. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Slade. I should have bowed to the common good. I promise that I will in my future life. Oh, damn it. I'll promise I'll have the snip in my early teens.
Promises, promises. Honestly, I don't think that we can take the risk.
You sound as though you've already made your mind up about me. So why bother with this interview?
We always have to interview absolutely everyone. We have to give everyone a choice. Choice is our slogan. It is up to you. The administrators merely select the options. You make the choice. However, time is ticking. You have 20 seconds. Your options are A dog? A cat? Or, appropriately enough for you, a rabbit? Of course, extinction is another option.
No, please, Vincent, don't do this to me. I need to be a human, even a female.
Not possible, Derek. I note that you are in fact a church-going, meditating, chanting Christian. No room at the inn, I'm afraid. You have 3 seconds. Choose or be zapped.
Dog.
Done. A dead Clarina Middleton. Also, a computer composite on a screen.
How come?
You were deceptively chipped when you were jabbed in 2021.
Chipped? On a screen? What do I look like?
You look fine. 43, being the new young. Long blonde hair. Makeup made up.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Vincent Slade. Office of Population Refinement.
What population refinement? How did I die?
We'll get to that. I see that you're college educated, with a degree in chemistry. Impregnated when 19, again when 22. Both aborted.
I have sovereignty over my own body.
Indeed you do. Your choice. And we approve rather than disapprove. We are, after all, population refinement. And not to be forgotten, reincarnation. We will touch on that later. Then you became an assistant manager at Boots, which was soon to become Amazon the Chemist. Interesting. You changed your sexual preference. Put it this way, you became very safe. In your late 30s, you slid into depression. You became addicted to Celexa. Sad. As to your death, in your 54th year, you self-euthanized.
Yes, Mr. Slade, all that's true as far as I can tell, but what did I do wrong? I mean, such a miserable life. Yet I did everything I was told. I gave 5% of my wages to medical research and more to help the planet from global warming, and then later from Ice Age prevention. I gave up men to be a responsible, childless feminist, raged against racism. I voted for all the common good things, to remain, for Keir Starmer, to arrest the unvaccinated. I had over 70 vaccinations. I can't understand it. Why, I found it so hard to make friends. Why did all my lovers drift away after a month or less? So hard to be happy, Mr. Slade. I was never happy. You mentioned reincarnation. Is it real?
Clarina, you'll be delighted to know that, yes, reincarnation is real, and that you have a chance to wake up to a new life.
Really?
Really? As it happens, I'm quite impressed by your resume. I think that you deserve another chance. I have several options open for you.
Thank you, Mr. Slade. Thank you, thank you. This time I'll be a good girl. I'll study sociology, sustainability, and population... What was it? Refinement. I'll only watch the government's recommended films.
Stop right there, Clarina. I'm afraid that the options don't extend to you being a female. They are as follows. A man, a racehorse, a filly if you like, or a tortoise.
A tortoise?
Don't scoff, Clarina. They are very popular here. They can live for 200 years.
Why not a human female?
Many reasons. Time allows only for mention of the main one. A man can't have babies.
But I learned to dislike men.
No problem, Clarina. Choice. The wonder of choice. Choose to be a woman, and you will be a woman. You can dress female and make up as a sequined sexy woman. You can join a very popular minority group and make lots of friends.
I see. Then it's either a filly or a female man.
Or nothing at all. You have 5 seconds.
A female man.
Done.
Vincent Slade's office shift lasted 4 hours. He went on to deal with 18 cases. Vincent machined a Caribbean coffee with coconut milk and went back to his sandwiches. At 1 o'clock, on the dot, the door spoke its combination rattle, and in came the adorable, but deadly, Nicola Young. She wore dark purple, her high heels parading sculptured legs. Her bosom, proud and only partially hidden. Vincent rose and shook hands with his co-worker, and he gave up his place at the table. Vincent could have left and gone home, but since Nicola had started at the office, he had preferred to sit in the corner and watch over her. His excuse was that she might need help. Well, she never did. In truth, he was hopelessly captivated by her. To Nicola, the truth was obvious, but she was content enough. Slade himself was not an unattractive man. Vincent, in routine fashion, drummed up Nicola's coffee, cortado espresso, and Nicola's work began.
What is this? I can think. Therefore I am. But I'm not.
This is the reincarnation interview, Katie. You died last week, but whilst you lay unconscious, you were chipped to grant us a conscious semblance of you on the screen in front of me.
And you are?
Nicola Young, call me Nicola. I'm an administrator for population refinement and reincarnation.
Reincarnation? Josh!
Reincarnation is a cold stone truth. You call yourself a truther, don't you? File says there's a long list of...
Hang on! I was chipped when I was unconscious.
The only time possible in your case. 1 in a billion avoids the chip. Your brain was hemorrhaged by a police truncheon. No copy complete. We put you out of your misery. Good for you and good for us.
You bastard.
Suppose we are. I'll continue with the list of radical...
Don't bother. I'll do it for you. I'm against vaccines and fake vaccines. Pharma profiteering, population control. I had 3 happy kids. And fake news, climate bollocks, global government, biological weapons labs, paramilitary police, and abuse of freedoms. Oh, and wretched pen pushers such as yourself.
You forgot our monarchy. Our brave queen even defying death itself.
To hell with the Queen and our dim or sexually dysfunctional family.
Having these opinions is all well and good, your choice, which we support. But you have spent your entire adult life trying to propagate those opinions onto everyone else. This is reprehensible. You, Katie Johnson, are a revisionist, anti-progress activist.
Sorry that I'm no sorry.
To us, you are impossible. Possibly one of the most impossible human beings on the entire planet.
It's not a planet, it's a flat earth.
Since your presence amongst us is almost null, I have nothing to lose by admitting that your ideas are mostly true, and even admirable. However, you miss the point. You had been living in the age of reason. You were 200 years out of date. This is the age of deception. Today, we use psychology to ensure the drive forward of technology, good or bad. And if we worship anything, we worship order, which, as you know, comes from chaos.
Almost null. Okay, CFAC here. Take me out.
Patience, Katie. We have to give you your choices. It's the law. You have 2 options, extinction, or you can reincarnate as a worker bee. Whereupon you will willingly serve your queen until death.
Nice choice, Nicola. Fuck the worker bee. Fuck all the queens and fuck you.
Done.
Nicola, you reincarnated her as a worker bee. You broke our choice rules.
So I did. Guilty. I fell in love with the idea of making her a slave to Queen Bee. Will only be for a few months, and then her choice to obliterate will be granted. It's only a slight delay. You won't tell on me, will you?
No. What will be, will be.
Thank you, darling Vincent. You're one after my own heart.
Indeed, that's true.
The two administrators finding harmony, Nicola continued her shift, the last interview being the most noteworthy.
I must be in limbo, on the way to hell.
No, Carl, there's no limbo and no such place as hell. You are auditioning for Reincarnation.
What is your name, woman? Can't see you, but I can hear you. It's a given that I died, and you're just messing with a computerized image and a soul in cold storage.
Bravo! You have an extraordinary grasp of your situation.
12 years in the slumber, Nicola. I read up on nanotech stuff. No fiction for me. My misdemeanors were all actual. What is more, girl, if I had substance, and I was in the same room as you, well, by now, your neck would be missing a hinge.
How exciting. I'm reading non-fiction about you right now. Ooh, 7 murders in 7 years.
Wrong. Many more than that stayed in the dark. It seems that your non-fiction is somewhat limited.
The files are limited. That's part of why we interview. Tell me, Carl, why? All the murders? And how did you remain at large for so long?
I have always been bitter about life itself. The first was when I was involved in a drunken fight outside a pub. My adversary put me on my back and then walked off. I followed him down an alley. I picked up half a brick and rushed him. He went down, and I couldn't stop smashing into him. No one saw. I felt strangely exhilarated. The high lasted for months. The others were planned. I enjoyed that part of it too. The victims could be anyone. No motive, you see. The blue bottles are obsessed by their motive. Yes, I had a good run. And my job gave me opportunities to find victims. I was an electrician. The power of life or death in my hands. Happy days.
Well, Carl, being in my profession, I know exactly what you mean. Look, I know about your wretched childhood. No need to go into that. However, I understand that you yourself had no children.
That's right. How can I put it? I've never been attracted to women, or men for that matter.
No need for me to pry or to judge your sexual preferences. 'Tis what it is.
How did I die? I can't remember.
In the prison shower room, multiple stab wounds.
Oh, damn. So you're saying that this reincarnation is real?
It is.
And that you make the decisions?
I do.
Well, then I'm ready. I suspect that I'm about to become an ant or a vegetable.
Not so. From a population refinement angle, you have an entirely excellent resume. Your choice, Carl, man or woman.
A woman? I find that interesting. Perhaps that might curb my worst indiscretions.
And perhaps not. A woman then?
Yes, a woman.
Done.
Thus ended Nicola Young's afternoon shift, the week's quota fulfilled on a Friday in the summer of 2034. Slade shook Nicola's hand. He wanted to kiss the back of it, her fingers adorned by sparkling rings.
I've never asked you a personal question before, Nicola. Are you married?
Yes. A marriage of convenience, an open marriage. How about you?
The same. Are you going to the Reincarnation Cube on Sunday night?
The administrator's summer celebration, sure. Wouldn't miss it for anything. I'm going to paint the town hall purple.
Oh, may I ask, what are you going as?
I thought as the devil's whore, complete with horns and a stiff vibrating tail.
Well, that would suit you, acting-wise. Satan himself would be proud to have you beside him.
Such a high compliment. I take it that you are going too.
Of course.
As?
As something different. A bat. Not as in Batman, but as in a giant version of a little furry animal. With wings, claws, and a bat face mask.
Will you be hanging upside down from the balcony?
I have a more enterprising gimmick than that. I've purchased some crazy laboratory wizardry. Balls like Maltesers. When one bites into them, they expel millions of tiny black droplets. Harmless, of course. But they cloud a room as would an insidious virus.
Clever and original. You know, I feel a reincarnation coming on. I think I'll transform into a giant queen bee. I'll have a tiny electric stinger up my sleeve. And heaven help anyone who fails to appreciate my status.
The bat will be the protector of your queendom. But how will you get your queen bee outfit this late on?
No problem. Amazon's got everything. I'll order this evening, and it will be on my doorstep by Saturday afternoon. Here's my card, Vincent. Call me and take me to the Cube, if you want.
I would be delighted to. I'll pick you up at 8.
In your Batmobile?
I'm thinking of hiring horses and a Queen's carriage from Buckingham Palace.
They say, never have an affair with a work colleague.
And they also say that rules are made to be broken. Pick you up at 8.
Reincarnation was written by Dave Patchett. Vincent Slade was played by Guy Dixon, Nicola Young and Clarina Middleton by Alexandra Knight, Katie Johnson by Irene Cunningham, Derek Dunn and the narration by Matt Reynolds, Kyle Muller by Matthew Shelton Jones. Credits were read by Irene Cunningham. The sound engineer was Stuart Conway. Editing and sound effects by Adam House Music.